Just a quick reminder guys, these narrations are best enjoyed with headphones on. Hey everyone, this time I review an all-time classic from the PlayStation 1 era, which recently hit Xbox Game Pass. Does this game deserve the praise of a lot of players give this game? Or are all these comments simply down to nostalgia and childhood memories? Let's find out. Well guys, the reason why I'm doing this review in the first place is simply a cure for boredom after seeking shelter in the house due to intermittent showers. Right, anyway, let's get on with this. This game was originally developed for the Nintendo's SNES system. However, during Chrono Trigger's development, Square Enix decided to take full advantage of the industry's push towards 3D hardware. Instead of developing the game for the Nintendo 64, the decision was made to create the game from the ground up for the Sony's upcoming consoles at the time, the PlayStation. This game is released in 1997. Tomb Raider developers Eidos ported the game to PC in 1998, then remade exclusively for the PlayStation 4. Earlier on this year, Streets of Rage 4 developers Dotemu developed the port of the original version to Xbox consoles. Last month, this game officially hit Xbox Game Pass along with other Final Fantasy classics, for example Final Fantasy IX. The game is set in the planet Gaia. A massive mega corporation is controlling the world and is using the planet's energy life stream to generate power. As a consequence, the planet is dying and monster attacks on towns and people is becoming more and more frequent. You play as the mercenary Cloud Strife, who was allied with the eco-terrorist organization Avalanche, who was currently destroying Mako reactors, prolonging the decay of the planet. They then go on an epic adventure to protect the planet from a madman who was hell-bent on the planet's destruction. The accessibility scores are as follows. To kick things off, visibility is got a sky high 11. The background color of the interface can be completely customized, so the interface can be tailored to suit the player's impairment. So a visually impaired player will be able to play this game with no issues. Audibility, I also scored a 10. This game has no spoken dialogue, so everything that any character says is text-based. Back then, imagination had to fill in the gaps. Mobility, I scored a sky-high 11. You can play with the keyboard and the controls can be fully customized. As expected, you can attach an Xbox controller or a PlayStation 4 controller, and similarly to the keyboard, the controls can be fully customized. So mobility impaired players can play this game with absolutely no issues. And last but certainly not least, gameplay is scored a 10, as both critics and the communities would say that Final Fantasy VII was the masterpiece that defined the RPG genre. To be honest, I would have to agree with that statement. This is probably one of the best Final Fantasy games of the series. Each and every playthrough of the game is an emotional journey from start to finish. From the high action, high intensity beginning of the game, to the tragedy and the drama of the death. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about here. To the epic feeling of achievement when you finally defeat the one-winged angel to finish Sephiroth off. The game's active time battle system is somewhat unique for a classic RPG. It may not be as good as the combat system which is used in the modern entries of the franchise, but this mechanic's DNA is definitely shown in them all. For example, Final Fantasy XV's Wait mode. In summary, Final Fantasy VII is to the RPG genre than Half-Life and Quake did for the first-person shooter genre. It paved the way for RPG games for both PC and consoles alike. Seriously guys, it's shown the world how a 3D RPG should look and play. This game is so long it had to be split over 3 discs. The sheer amount of side quests to go along with the main story is extensive. You'll be playing this game for hours and hours on end. Although there is no NG system similar to Dark Souls, but the engaging story compels you to revisit this game time and time again. Along with other classics Final Fantasy games which is already available on Xbox, some of which used to be and still are on Game Pass, you'll be playing this game along with other classics in the series time and time again. If you're a Game Pass subscriber on PC, you'll be able to pick up this game for just over a tenner. Seriously guys, this game is an absolute must-buy for any gamer's collection, and playing this game for the first time is somewhat of a rite of passage. As I said before, this game is on Game Pass. If you're a subscriber, play it. And the overall score is 105%. This game ties with Flight Simulator as the high-scoring game of the blog. Well guys, see you guys in the next review. Speaking of the next review, as I've finished and uploading this review, the poll for next week's review has been officially over. It was a straightforward split between Crusader Kings 3 and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Well, I can announce to you what the results were. Well, Crusader Kings 3 had, 3 votes, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist picked up 5 votes. So my friends, shuffle your decks, ready your duel discs, the hour of the dueling is about to begin. And on that note, we'll end the review. Spartan Commander 1998. Roll out, Spawn Company.